now what I wanted to do with the last bit of the course is get into moving between these three areas that we've just covered in a way that that used to really confuse me with Hendrix, and I didn't know how he knew how to do this kind of thing, where he would play horizontally up the neck on one string, and I was so locked into these patterns across the neck, I would try to come up with these weird ideas of like, oh, up 3, up 2, up 3, and I was trying to figure out the scale formula, but I was like doing it in such an inefficient way because once I would change keys, I would have to work all this out again, and it was like I was having to carry around some sort of a encyclopedia in my brain of, oh, is this the one that's up 2 and down 3, or is this, it was just, it's not a good way to go about it. So if we start back here in this, this pattern, or the top of this other pattern, if you want to see it that way, that's fine. It's all the same. So this idea of doing a hammer, doing a slide, pull off, and then we're going to jump up here. So Hendrix would do these great things where he would just kind of like zip up and down the neck this way, which really confused me because I was so locked into these patterns, just going like in one pattern down and back up. So let's take a look at rhythm 18, or idea 18, sorry. And we're going to go pick, hammer, pick, slide, pull off, move, and that bend. So okay. So you have like a beat and a half to get off that 9, and then the transition, again, you can do this 1 and 3. You just got to watch that pull off. Now the move is to get up to this B note. And again, we're bending from a 4th to a 5th. This is a 5th, this is a B note. We're going to bend to a B note. But remember, on this bend, the first finger stays stationary. So you get that nice grindy sound, and then it resolves into the note, into the pitch. Okay, I think we should stick with kind of a simple rhythm. Let's do idea 1, the rhythm, example 1, where we're doing a lot of this movement, this kind of horizontal movement, and then that'll get us back here. So make a move. All right, so now we're really getting a lot of coverage on the neck. So let's try that slowly with the recording. We'll probably fumble around a little bit till we work it out. No big deal. Just if you get behind, just try to get back to the root note for this idea, and then you will massage and work out this new lick. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so here we go. Idea 18 with example 1. So I'm pulling off, I'm hammering, sliding, and pulling off as hard as I can because I want these notes to come through. Try to get really wild with that vibrato. Be dramatic with it. Now notice that time I hung out on this E note because it's going to work over the E chord that we're getting into. So you don't have to have the silence there. Go. All right, now for kicks, let's try that a little faster. This will really test how clean you can be with these hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. Like how strong is your hand getting if you can pull these off effectively. So let's try it a little quicker. This time I won't sit on that E note. I kind of like it sitting on the E note a little more, so it just doesn't sound like dead space. Let's take a look at example 11. So since we've been upping the ante on our hammer-ons and getting in and out of things, this is kind of a variation on, remember this C, right? And then we have a C with an E. So we're going to utilize that, the C pentatonic. Okay, now that right there, this bottom part, remember that's our G pentatonic. And its inversion, we could do down here. So here's the C. Here's where the G kicks in. This is another thing that used to really confuse me because I would see this pattern of the neck and I didn't realize that because of the area of overlap, I just thought it was like one scale or one chord thing. So my timing or where I would try to do this would be off. So you want to see the C chord and you want to see the G chord. So C, G. And what we're embellishing is the C to the D against an E note, coming back to the triad. We're bringing in the sixth, the A, back to the fifth, and the root. Now it's like a power chord. It's a G and a D, bringing in the sixth, camping out on that, basically that power chord, that G and D. So we're going to come right in on beat one. So it's going to be a pretty busy part. And then we have to make the move. We shift everything up. Here's our D chord, right? There's our A chord. So we've got the same rhythm. Now, sometimes people will try to bar this whole thing and you get this. And if that's the sound you want, that's cool. That operation I was talking about earlier, like, see how I'll lift my finger, I relieve the pressure, and then I make a move. And then I leave that down. So, because I want that to ring. That's my G chord, so it's kind of like my fingers hopping a little, but I'm not pulling far away from the neck. So I can control what is ringing, and I can control the separation just with that. But it's not easy to do. So that's a thing to practice as well. And then we just move that up. See how I'm relieving? Even if it's just a little, that stops the string. I'm not even stopping it with my right hand. Okay. So let's try just that with the recording. We'll kind of just cycle through that with the slow tempo and then the fast. Find an E. And then just start playing with your dynamics. Play hard, soft, back it off. There's a lot going on the downbeat. We're really emphasizing the downbeat a lot. Okay, now let's try it a little faster. Now, remember I said you should play these all the way through the song with the backing track until you can nail it. So I'm going to move on, but if you need to spend some time with the backing track and work this part out, just keep doing it over and over and over with the track. You're better off to be in the track and figuring out how it works with the groove and what the bass and drums are doing instead of just doing it by yourself. So we'll do the same thing, but let's bring in some licks now. So let's kind of revisit some of the licks we've done in the past. Let me find a couple here. All right, let's go back and let's look at ideas 12, 13, and 14. So remember, 12 was 13 is. And remember, you can shift this. If you want that 7 on the downbeat, that's fine. And I might alternate it too, but I'll try to play it as written. So we have idea 12, 13, and then, and we're going to do it all with this rhythm we just learned. And I'm not going to repeat the licks. So we're going to play rhythm, idea 12, rhythm, idea 13, rhythm, idea 14. So we're just going to loop a different lick each time. And I'll probably cycle through that whole thing, I'll repeat it like 2 or 3 times. And we'll start slow and then try it fast. Here we go. Twelve. 13. Remember, that one's the funky one. 12. Thirteen. So I moved it a little. All right, so now we'll move on and we'll do same rhythm, but with ideas 15, 16, and 17 in that order. So just like before, I'm just going to alternate through that probably 2 or 3 times. Here we go. $15. $16. $17. $15. $16. $17. Now let's do the exact same thing, but faster. Okay, now hopefully you can start to hear how this sounds. It sounds a lot like what you would hear on a Mayer record or a Jimi Hendrix song, moving in and out of these rhythm pieces. And we've just been playing the same rhythm this whole time on this one. You could mix up the rhythm parts too if you wanted, and that's what you'll find in Hendrix's stuff. He's moving around all the time with rhythm, but I wanted to work these licks in, and I wanted to work on this kind of more complicated hammer-on pull-off thing. I guess just hammer on, but it's faster. It's definitely like, okay, so the rhythm part, it's pretty interesting because now it's not so simple. It kind of sounds like fills and lead guitar. It's a lot different than this, right? There's like more movement, more excitement. So let's move on and let's kind of keep that same idea and look at example 12. Now you're going to have to slide into that triad. Now you're going to do a hammer-on and a pull-off. And then here's our G chord, and it's third, so we have this. And then we're going to move it up for the D chord. Now I'm not doing the hop with my first finger here. So when I do this, right, I'm letting, you can let that ring if you want to, that third finger, or you can just get it out of the way. I think I'm getting it out of the way. And then I leave this first finger down. I'm not doing this beat. You could if you want that separation, but I think it'll sound kind of clunky, so I'm going to go like this. Now I move. So there's going to be less bouncing with the first finger here. So we'll do example 12 a couple times, the slow version, and let's work in idea 18, which was this one. So there's gonna be a lot of moving around. Okay, here we go. Example 12 with idea 18. But before we throw in the lick, let's just do example 12 a couple times without the lick. Here we go. Find an E. Okay, now let's start bringing in idea 18. Okay, now let's try that faster. So this will be, it's amazing when you're playing like this, how just a couple upticks in the tempo can make a big difference. So it's okay if you stumble around a little bit here, just really be thinking about the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have to, so you're gonna have to travel all the way from up here, right? Okay, here we go. All right, very good, very good. So we only have two more rhythm things to learn, and we have a couple more licks to learn. So let's check those out. Let's bounce into another lick here.